touch anything.
Okay, sure.
They are fragile.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was telling you, welcome again.
Thank you.
This is Nharama Memorial Site. It is located in Wigesera District, Eastern Province. So in Rwanda we have different memorial sites. Each one carrying its own history.
It's on memories.
Memories. Its own history in genocide and people around having their own history in Rwanda.
Okay.
Especially Tutsis. So you've been told that before colonialism, our population was unique. We were unique people. We cohabited together, we lived together, we shared everything. And the country was ruled by king. The king was Tutsi. According to the first colonizer, the German came first. And they tried to divide the people according to what they saw. Some of them, they said they were quite tall, and they have a good skin, and probably they said the people came from northern part of Africa, in Sahara.
Okay.
They were not precise, but they said these people come exactly from Sahara. And others were from, they said they are from like Chad, but not precise. One of the writer called Hannet Speck also emphasized on it and said Rwanda population and don't share same ancestors. They believe to different, they belongs to different ancestors. Some from north, others from northwest of Africa. And after the First World War, the German were replaced by Belgium. So with Belgium, the situation became quite complicated. The German, the Belgium promoted the elite Tutsis, and they bring in with a modern education. Before, we didn't have formal education. We had what we call itorero. Itorero was a traditional education. Yeah, they educate on, they focused on civic education, moral values, how people can defend their countries, how they can work together, but they didn't learn about physics, about modern education. We had no modern education. Modern education came with the Belgium. So the Belgium educated the Tutsi so that they can help the Belgium to govern the country. But after educating the Tutsi, and they go to Hutus, they tell them, Tutsi are educated, and you work for Tutsis the whole of your life. So with the revolution of 1959, Tutsi were obliged to go in exile. So it was a forced exile. So
by the Hutu. The revolution was by the Hutu or by all the people?
By the Hutu helped with Belgium.
Okay.
Belgium had soldiers here. So the first exile were implemented by Belgium forces. So a big number of Tutsi were obliged to go in neighboring country, DRC, Burundi, Tanzania, and Uganda. Some of the books say 60,000 went in DRC. 42,000 went in Burundi, 13,000 in Tanzania, and 25,000 went in Uganda. So those who were not forced to go in exile was obliged to come here in Bugesera. This place is called Bugesera. It was a big jungle with cruel animals. So they believe they can be
Protected.
no, not protected, die from animals and other diseases. It was in the forest, not
They
exploited
send them away from people so that they will be killed by animals.
by animals. So it what happened. A big number of them died. Others were eaten by animals. Few of them survived. So in 1963, the refugees who went in Burundi tried to come back fighting. And they use this way. This is near Burundi. Burundi is not far from here.
Ah, really?
It's near here. So they come and they reach even this place, trying to reach Kigali. So they were defeated by the government forces, and the local Tutsis here had a problem. They were accused of supporting the rebellion. Some were killed, others jailed. So with that incident, they bring in Hutus, elite Hutus, to control the movement of Tutsis, because they thought Tutsis are cooperating. Was in exile and was here are cooperating. So they were a big slave to the country. So they bring in Hutus so that they can control the movement of Tutsis, and all Tutsis were prohibited to leave the place. So no permission to leave this place. They should live here and not leave this place. Nevertheless, they continued to share everything. They married each other, Hutus and Tutsi. They believed in one God.
Between the 60s till maybe the 90s, or what is
The 60s went,
okay.
and those remaining here, they continue to share everything. You see, local people, they don't have problem.
Yes.
They share everything.
Yes.
The struggle is the same.
Yes.
The language is the same.
Right.
Everything is shared among them. They even attend same churches.
Churches.
That's why the memorial is here, because they all attended same churches. But after the churches, because the political influence, those who attend the same church, they go and the government raise awareness or mobilize one group of people to kill the other group. So the situation became complicated in 1990 when RPF launched a liberation struggle. Again, the Tutsi here were accused of supporting the rebellion, because those who had started the rebellion were Tutsis. So those were here start to be jailed, others be killed. In 1992, a big number of them were killed, accused of supporting the rebellion. The rebellion become more strong and strong. Then they think they had support from Tutsis inside the country. So they tried to negotiate and sign a peace deal in 1993. And toward July 1993, United States stabilizing mission came in to support the peace deal. But the government forces and the government officials were always busy mobilizing people to kill Tutsis. And they blamed everything on Tutsis. At that period that become more sensitive because at every single incident, Tutsi were accused of being promoters. They were accused of being traitors, snakes, cockroaches. So all these are threat to local life. So they mobilized people to kill was harming their life. So this situation came on their climax on 6th April when the plane of the former president crashed. Always Tutsi were accused of being behind the crash of the president plane. So the next day, everything collapsed. Roadblock installed. The names of Tutsi were properly drawn, and the killing immediately started.
By ID.
ID. You see evidence here. So the family were identified, and bad enough, it was Easter holidays. Children with their parents or at home. So they announced that no one should leave the house. Remain in your house while the situation is under control by the government forces. But next day, everything collapsed. People start to be killed. And as they believed in 1959, when you take hide in church, most of them survived. So they decide, let's again hide in church. Perhaps we can survive. But things changed dramatically.
Only in this church massacre happened, or there are other churches or mosques? Or
We have many churches where massacres happened. In a church nearby, the big church, the bigger church than this was nearby in Nyamata.
okay.
The massacre happened. The priest left, and the believers were slaughtered. In Nyanje, something happened.
So the priest kept alive. They did not kill him.
They went. Most of them were Hutus. They went. They went. They left the believers being slaughtered by the militias. So that's how things gone. And because we are here, they took refuge, hide in this house. Is a changing room of a priest. Behind is Sunday school. So they took all this house and the surrounding, and they tried to protect themselves for 7 days. So the 7th days, a big attack came, and all of them were brutally slaughtered. So we are going to.
How many people were there?
Around 1,500.
Wow.
In the house, in the small house here, in the garden, and everywhere. So even those around this small hill came in when the killing become really tough. There is a school here. Was among those who were in this school came in. All of them were slaughtered here. So you are going to witness what happened. We are going to visit this.
Mhm.
Actually, we take 1 minute silence
Yes.
for their memory.
In the Arab world, when we see our brothers killing other Arabs, Arabs killing Arabs, more than they are fighting against their main enemy or something. So inshallah, we hope that this is a learning for all the world, not only for Rwandans. Yes. Thank you very much for really that nice.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Really, thanks. You about reconciliation, and people are now coexisting together. We know now they don't want to go into the same problems that they gone before. But what about what we see from tidiness, organizing, and not only in government places, even we see it at homes and so on. What's happening?
It's all about education. It's all about education. We know where we want to be, and we know that our country was demolished, and we have a long way to go. So it's about education and commitment. We are committed to do our better to build our country.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
احنا هنا في واحدة من الكنائس القديمة اللي هي شهدت المجازر اللي صارت. طبعا هو التاريخ باختصار، هاي كنيسة قديمة شان ياو المستعمرين أول شي الألمان، ثم لما ياو بلجيك شان قسموا القبائل بين توتسي وهوتو، وعلموا قبيلة وما علموا قبيلة عشان دائما يقدرون يفرقون بينهم بسهولة. اشتعلت الشرارة مع موضوع سقوط طيارة الملك واتهام قبيلة بقبيلة، شعلوا الكل بأنهم يذبحون بعض. فوق 1500 شخص مع أنهم كانوا من نفس الديانة نفس المذهب يا اهتموا بالكنيسة، يابوا أكلهم وأشيائهم، وذيلا متوقعين أن الكنيسة بتكون في مأمن، لكن فوق 1500 شخص قتل في هاي الكنيسة. طبعا هناك في يعني هاي الصناديق حاطين فيها الجماجم تشهد على ذلك، وشان كذي ممنوع تصوير من داخل فراس وغيرها. في من ملابسهم بعدين they قدروا they identify them. طبعا كانوا متوقعين ان الامور في يابو كلهم يابو امورهم كلهم وياهم، حتى الطلبة يابا وهني الدفاتر معاهم والكتب واللوح، إن على بالهم إن هي حرب كم من يوم وبينجون بيرجعون حق حياتهم الطبيعية، لكن هذه ما صار. كانت مجزرة، نفس الدولة نفس الديرة نفس الدين نفس المذهب، لكن الكل ذبح بعض بأمر من لجأ. هذه الزوجة زوجها وبنات 3 منهم بقوا، ففي وقت الحادث الزوج كان موجود ويصير دفنها هني، فعقب ما سووا المقبرة الجماعية الزوج طلب ان زوجته ما يغيرون مكانها، والكنيسة احترمت هاي الطلب. هو شلون الزوج بقى؟ هو على باله حط زوجته ان هي في الكنيسة محمية، وراح في الجبال يبي يساعد الباقي يجيبهم الكنيسة. يوم نزل شاف زوجته متوفية، المذبح منتهي وذبحين 1500 شخص هني. يعني هاي كان الكنيسة، وذي المدرسة التابعة للكنيسة اللي بعد صار فيها مجزرة. معظم اللي كانوا منخشين في المدرسة كانوا هم الأطفال والنساء الحوامل، والطوفة فيها كانوا الحوامل اللي يذبحون نسوان التوتسي، يعني كانوا يبطون بطن الحامل عشان يذبحون من في بطنها، فحتى الطوف فيها بقايا الدم والماء، شان كذي كانوا بس يولدونهم ويذبحون اللي في بطنهم وبعدين يذبحونهم. وهاي في التسعينات يعني مو من زمان، عشان يراويك ان البشرية رغم التطور لكن في كراهية في لحظة يشعلون شيء وشان يتحول هاي الإنسان المخلوق البشري إلى شر. هاي أسامي الضحايا يعني بداية مالها بداية فوق 1500 شخص. تاريخ البشرية للحين ما انتهى من شروره، للحين نشوف المذابح مكررة. هاي في التسعينات. اليوم 2022 مذابح قاعدة تصير بين قبائل في أثيوبيا. طبعا مجازر دول عربية من صبرا وشتيلة واللي قاعد يصير في فلسطين. طبعا سكتوني لأن كانت لحظة صمت وأنا قاعدة أشرح. وهني تحت المقابر يعني عقب ما كفنوهم ننزل الحين بس نعتصم. نزلنا تحت كانت توابيت وكل تابوت شي ملفوف بتور شلش أبيض يعني كرامة لهم، هاي اللي قدروا تو ايدنتيفاي، وعليهم صورهم فأهلهم يجون يزورونهم. المكان وايد بيسفل وكان يعني الواحد ما يتصور ان شلون صارت مجزرة في هاي المنطقة. لكن كان سؤال دكتور محمد لأن هاي المجازر ما بتتكرر مرة ثانية، وايد سؤال صعب. طبعا في بعض اللي يذبحوا مثل ما احنا قلنا أهلهم وغيرهم شلون خلاص لا وما في شيء في البطاقة، الحين ما حد يعرف هو من أي قبيلة، لأن حتى اللي كانوا مسوون البلجيكيين إن تو ايدنتيفاي من كل قبيلة كانوا يقيسون خشمه وطوله وعينه ويقولون أنت إذا أطول أنت من هالقبيلة، أنت إذا أقصر. كلها أثبتت إن هي غلط، يعني إخوان لأنهم وايد متزوجين فما في شيء يثبت ذلك. لكن يعني رغم كل التطور اللي احنا فيه في العالم لكن المجازر ما زالت مستمرة إلى اليوم. ذي البيت هنا حديث حق دوكيومنتيشن عشان يسوون دوكيومنتيشن، لكن الأهم البيت اللي هناك هذه حق كونسلينج، إن لما الأهل يجون يزورون تتجدد عندهم الأحزان في كونسلينج للعلاج النفسي. الواحد يستغرب إن المجزرة صارت في مكان كذي كان في سلام في أمان. ديرة يعني الحين احنا في عز الصيف، أحر شيء صار فيها 26، أبرد شيء فيها 15، يعني هواء معتدل، خضرة، ماي، ما في شيء تحاربون عليه. مو تقولين الحروب بين صليبية وإسلامية وواحد يبي يمد شيء، بس يعني قبائل قالوا لهم تتهاوشوا وانتوا اخضعوا على هالقبيلة وهالقبيلة وتهاوشوا. صار مكان الأمان